freaking love this thing, guys. All right, guys, last hole. I gotta wash my balls. Let's close the lid. We don't even want to watch our balls get washed. Just scrub it up, dub. Give it a little backwards rotation, a little forwards. Go back again, forward again. Oh, these balls gotta be shiny.
Fly straight, fly long, baby.
Money. Let's do this.
That's money. Hang on. Everybody's pulling right. I think I saw it come down.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry about any wind noise that you guys may be experiencing, but today we got a great one for you. I know I probably say that all the time, and a lot of YouTubers say that all the time. Oh, I got a banger, which I gotta be honest, most of the time I do feel like I have a really decent video. I mean, there are some videos that I feel like I have to cram and get out there for you guys that I just want to, you know, kind of show progress, and it's probably not super exciting and anything for you guys, but I try to keep you guys in the loop with everything of what's going on. But today we are going to have, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, an update for the Bruce. Now, you guys I don't know if that's even a saying or anything, but you guys did notice that I did jump the Bruce, and I ended the video saying he did very well. He didn't break, he didn't this, didn't that. And also we did have an issue that, you know, I didn't show you guys. Not really an issue, but we needed something to get finished up so that we could actually drive that thing around. And well, today's the day that we're going to go ahead and take care of that. So without further ado, let me jump in here, and we are going to go get the Civic out of the yard. Now, this has been probably 2 weeks that it's been sitting right there, 100% where I jumped it. I left it parked. We went camping and went away for the weekend. So this is the first time he's going to start in a while, and I did actually have to go get a battery because the battery, I don't know if you've seen in the jumping video, but I did end up breaking the battery during the jump, which, I mean, rightfully so. We jumped the freaking thing. So if you didn't check that out, definitely head back and check that video out. It was probably the scariest thing I ever did of all time. But today we're going to get the Civic down here, and I will show you guys what we are missing, a big piece of the puzzle to actually be able to get this thing out here and get it wheeling. Plus, we have a car show coming up on Saturday, so if you guys can make it out, it is in Steelton, Pennsylvania. I believe the address is 125 Front Street, Steelton, Pennsylvania, but I will have a flyer posted right about now. You guys are in the area and you can actually make it out, please stop out and show not my local police department, but a very local police department. I'm good friends with most of the police officers that are there, and they, you know, help me out when I need and things like that. So definitely come check it out. I will have the Bruce there, he will be there. I will have the F450, and I may, if we still have the Civic, I may have him sitting there next to the Bruce, just because it'd be kind of cool to have the lowered Civic next to the Bruce. So let's get him out of the yard here and let's start tearing into him. All right, guys, so now that we have this down here, there's one thing that I also wanted to show with this truck when we built it. Obviously, because we then added the lift and the drop arm and raise arm. There's an arm here that actually like raises up 4 inches, and that is also off of the van too, or off of the Chevy that we got that was lifted. So one of the things we have to do is whenever I go to turn left, it wouldn't turn very well. I mean, you'd get maybe a quarter turn out of it and it was full lock, you know, wouldn't turn any farther. So we're gonna have to go ahead and adjust this arm here the whole way. We're gonna have to use up all of these threads here and hope that that gets us to be able to turn left hand now. So it is a little frustrating when I tried to drive this before, that you could only, you know, I mean, I'm telling you, if this is straight, like you could turn like that and then you go to the right and it would be, you know, full turn. So we're gonna get that addressed. We're gonna go ahead and get that fixed. Also, from jumping it, we went ahead and broke the welds off of this side and bent this channel. We'll fix that, straighten it. This side is completely lifted off, as you can tell here, so we're gonna have to get that all rewelded. Not a big deal. We just have to slide the Civic back over about 4 inches and we'll be able to weld these things back up. So he did suffer just a little bit of abuse. We got our new battery in here. We're gonna have to go ahead and get a actual battery relocate. We're gonna put the battery in the trunk, and we're also going to go ahead and get our radiator tossed in here, and then we will have a cooling system. Because as you guys do know, which a bunch you know called out, which is actually freaking cool to me, that you guys see stuff and call it out. That's freaking awesome. I love when you guys interact with the channel. So if you see something that you want me to address, is 99% of the time I read the comments and we will go ahead and address it. But we do have a radiator that we're going to toss in it that has been sitting here. We have obviously our coolant overflow reservoir we're going to get mounted, and we're just going to make today's video pretty much about the Bruce, getting him tip-top shape, ready to actually be driven and, you know, send it full send in the mud. Now, I'm sorry for slacking. I should have definitely had all this stuff done by now, but you guys know I absolutely love projects. So I tinker some more, and this should be the main one that you guys know of. Obviously, I've had this thing for about 1.5 years now, almost 2 years. And well, December will be 2 years since I've had this, and this car is always coming apart, always breaking, always failing. It has been sitting since February, but you can tell it is back together and ready to rock and roll. I'm waiting on a bracket that I need for the back of the headlight housings to get mounted, and then we'll be good enough to get this thing off the paint and get it 100% restored back to almost perfect shape. Now, when I say perfect, I mean that loosely, because obviously it was in a field. But let's get back to the Bruce. Let me get these tie rods turned the whole way out. I'm not going to show you guys that because it's literally going to take me 25 or 30 minutes, because I can only get a quarter turn out at a time as it hits there. I'll show you. Till it bites, I literally get till it bites right here. Ouch. Well, let me go ahead and get this thing set down and I'll show you. We just got to turn that out, and hopefully we'll be able to turn left. That should make things easier. All right, well, as you can tell in there, that is as far as it is going to go, as they are actually touching each other. And I know you probably don't think that they're touching, but they're kind of like a beveled rounded edge. So they are definitely touching each other now. That's as far as we can go. Now, once we get the radiator in, we should be able to see if we can actually make a lot better of a left-hand turn. Hopefully, let's fingers crossed, hope for the best. If not, we'll have to come down here and adjust this, which this actually looks like it's already maxed out, but we'll figure something out. We'll get it to turn left-hand one way or another. Let's see if we can turn any better. Oh yeah, it actually does appear as if I'll be able to turn better, and now we just have to find the power steering leak. It's always something, guys. Which we do know we blew that line while we were at the first car show there at the what was it, Bloomsburg Fair. So we just got to locate where that's blowing from. I don't really know where. I think it's coming from right there. So let's get that figured out, and that's our next problem we're gonna chase. Alrighty, I'm not sure if you guys could see it in there, but it was actually coming from this fitting here, which is easy. I'm gonna go ahead and order power steering lines, because we're actually gonna run a power steering cooler on this thing, because when we get into mud bogs and everything like that, we're gonna have to use our motion back and forth. If we get stuck or slow it down, we're gonna need a back and forth motion. So we're gonna put a power steering cooler on this. Let's go get lines ordered and get them on their way. I honestly at this point feel like I live in freaking Florida, because it rains for a half an hour to an hour every day, and it's really starting to annoy me. But we're still working on the Bruce, guys. Hopefully this storm passes. I gotta put the windows up in the F450. This is, man guys, this is getting frustrating to say the least. Like every single day now, it has rained and got windy and thunderstormed, and I can't get nothing done, guys. It's really frustrating, especially since I work outside. So I am in the search. If anybody knows in the local to like Harrisburg area, I need a garage. I need to do it. At least like a 30 by 30. Somebody local to Harrisburg, please help me find a garage. I need to rent a garage. Let's make it happen. I'll drop my email down below. It'll be probably on the screen too, taz313@aol.com. Yes, I still have an AOL. But let's let this storm pass, and then we'll get the radiator tossed in the Bruce. Ugh, super frustrating. Alrighty, now that everything is wet, I am going to go ahead and knock this fitting off here, and I'm gonna go down to the hardware store and see if I can't make something work, get an actual thread for this, and make this so that we actually have legit power steering and no leak. So let me get this disconnected so I can take it with me, and we're gonna head to the auto store. All right, well, now that it's off, I actually remember why this was this way, and this is 100% my fault. I'll own up to this. I completely forgot that this line broke, and I just teed it in there so that it wouldn't spray fluid all over Danny's floor. So that is my fault. Looking back now, I remember I was like, wow, what a goober. So we could have definitely had this resolved a long time ago and had no issues, but it is what it is. Now that we have it apart, let's go get the right line, and we'll get this all taken care of. Alrighty guys, well, we have officially got an actual cooling system now, and you can actually see there is pressure in there. We have it warmed up. It is good to go. I mean, this thing is going to be absolutely fun here in a little bit. So I'm gonna let it sit here. I tried to talk, but you guys couldn't hear me. So I am gonna sit here and let it run for about a half hour, 45 minutes, make sure I don't have any leaks or anything. One thing I am gonna have to do is figure out how we're going to plumb this line here. This line actually goes to like a heater core line. Where I have it now, it's pressurizing into like the cap in the system. So we can't use that one. We're not gonna be able to use that there. This is more for like an overflow. Where it's at now, it's basically the pressure is just above the cap, and we're gonna have issues with that. So that's why you see like a couple little drips here. So I am gonna, you see it bubbling up right there because I have had it running here. But yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do about this. We're probably gonna have to use the line from the other coolant reservoir that I have sitting over here. But I mean, we are making freaking headway. Also, I wanted to kind of go over some of the things that broke in the truck when I actually jumped it, but it's little things. I'm not worried about it. We'll get it all braced back up, and I see where my weakness was. So let me jump into the cab here, and I'll show you what actually broke and why the steering column came loose. Alrighty guys, now that we're inside, you can actually see I was braced right here, and it was a 10mm nut. It actually just pulled completely out of the firewall, and you can see just how far it is out of reach now. So basically what we're going to do is we got to get it pushed back up into place here. Let me see if I can actually lift up on it while in the truck here. Yeah, you can see it's moving closer, but the steering column definitely fell out of place. So the next time you do see this, we will have this rebraced here, and instead of going where I'm going, I'm actually going to tee up and in, and then I'm going to actually do one from here straight over here to a point here. So that might be something that we have to go down to Danny's and get straightened up. But we do have the dog box, guys. I know a bunch of you guys keep saying, like, finish the interior, finish the interior. Guys, it's a mud truck. I don't care what the interior looks like. I mean, from the seats back, it's full interior. That doesn't bother me. It's just like little things like this, which I know we're gonna have to address, but I want to be able to drive this thing and actually experience it. Another thing that's driving me insane is the exhaust is actually dumping out right here and right there. So we have to get that rectified. I can't sit here and drive this thing and smelling fumes. It's kind of frustrating. So we are going to work on getting the exhaust, but first we're going to go ahead and fabricate up ourselves a bracket system to actually hold the steering column a lot better. The gauge cluster is actually just sitting there. I know it broke one of the zip ties free during the jump, but you guys got to understand, like, that was a freaking jump. Like, it wasn't like I was being easy with it or anything. I mean, this thing was 6 or 8 feet in the air and came down, and it came down hard. So the fact that those suspension components broke, the drivetrain still works, everything like that, I'm okay with it. I can deal with that. The little things that broke, they, you know, it's just time consuming things. But we will get it down to Danny's, and I'm thinking early next week. The only other thing I do want to do is get a cooling fan on this. So I am going to get a cooling fan on it, and that way, you know, it can actually cool itself a little bit better with a fan also, because obviously, you know, you need a fan. You can't just sit there and idle with no fan. But there you guys have it. If you like the content, please smash that like button. It's getting kind of late here. I'm going to do a couple more things here, but it's definitely getting late. I don't know how much more recording I'm going to be able to do. It's 8:30. I want to be able to get this video out to you guys, since I know you guys have been asking, where's the Bruce? Where's the Bruce? Are you going to complete it? Yes, we are completing the Bruce, guys. The Bruce is never going to go anywhere. We can now actually make a left-hand turn. I did order the power steering line, which should be here tomorrow, and then we're going to have to modify that to work. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to put this video out today or just wait till tomorrow, but if I do, I will see you guys tomorrow. And if I do not, please smash that like button, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, like I said, I was going to keep plugging and chugging here. I thought it was going to get dark, but we now officially have a cooling fan. I have it fastened in this side over here and on that side down here. Basically what I did was I took the factory GMC one and cut it in half. So we're gonna have to go ahead and make, I guess, a bracket for it to tie into this side over here. As you can tell, it's like plastic. I literally just cut it straight down the middle. But when we jump in the truck here, you can tell it's been running now the whole time. And our coolant temps are looking freaking fantastic. Give me 1 second, let me jump up here. Jumping up here is a task, guys. Like, it's not that easy. But as you can tell, it has been running for about 25 minutes to a half an hour, and we are sitting right around like 205, 210, somewhere in there, a little under 210. So I'm happy with it. Things are finally progressing to, you know, the way I thought that they would. It definitely is time consuming, and this was not an easy build, to say the least, but I'll show you guys a little two-step. Why not? Can you see them both from this angle? Freaking love this thing, guys. And as you can tell, with the cooling fan now, we are running like same thing, 205, maybe 202, somewhere in there, but we are freaking plugging and chugging, guys. So now I can kind of end it. I've, you know, told you guys I already ended it, but we're back, and now I'll end it. So here's the outro. Roll the outro. I don't have an outro. See you guys in the next one. Alright, wanted to come out and show you guys the cooling fan kicking on, and you can tell by my skirt, it is working and working properly. Oh yeah, guys. Things are looking up for the old Brucey Bruce. Soon we'll be able to drive him. We'll be able to go through drive-thrus and stuff.